How you doing today? My name is Zach Allen. I'm a golf instructor up in Valencia, California, and I'm excited to do this video for Golf WRX today. It's going to be an all-comprehensive video that has everything to do with hitting that tour quality spinning pitch shot. So we've got a lot of different things to look at here. I've got my Flight Scope launch monitor. I've got my iPad that's giving us detail on launch and spin. I've also got a few different wedge and a few different ball options. So what I want you all to realize that the most important thing with hitting that spinning pitch shot that you see Jordan Spieth hitting, that you see Jason Day, Tiger Woods, they're all capable of hitting it at any time, is you need to be able to create the most friction possible. So a lot of what goes down to creating the most friction possible is the equipment that you use. I would say half the students that show up to my lesson tee show up with a wedge that has no spin technology on the face. It basically just has grooves and nothing else. Okay, here's my Cleveland RTX 588. It has 3 different ways to spin the club. It's got U-shaped grooves that are designed to spin it. It's got micro grooves in between those grooves. And then they also do this RTX milling on the face that gives it a third option to create spin. Okay, so equipment is a big variable, but also the ball that you choose to play is a big variable. If we've got, you can see here, we've got a couple different ball choices. We've got some Titleist Pro V's, and you can hear by the sound there, the cover is a little bit softer than, say, these Top Flights. You hear by the sound in that cover. So if you don't have the right equipment, if you don't have the right wedge, and you don't have the right ball, it's going to be very tough to spin the ball or have any chance of hitting this shot. So another important variable too that I often see golfers do is when they get ready to hit the shot, they've taken a bunch of practice swings here in order to, size up the shot, 1, 2, maybe 3 practice swings, and they don't realize it, but the face of their club is totally littered with grass and moisture. Another factor that's going to really deter you from creating any spin. So what I want to let you know is the first thing is go out and get yourself a good quality wedge, all right? Cleveland makes great wedges. Titleist makes great wedges. A lot of them, the Mac Daddy series from Callaway, there's a lot of great options out there. And then make sure you get a good quality ball, okay? A premium ball that'll give you the best chance to hit that spin. They are a little more expensive, but they will chip and putt so much better. You'll shave a few strokes off your game just there, and it'll be every bit worth the price. Okay, so that's just the beginning there of just talking a little bit about kind of some of the differences in equipment and how that's gonna change how the shot comes off for yourself. So let's try a couple here, just to verify and see if that's actually the case. So I've got my Top Flight XL sand wedge with no spin technology on it. I'm going to hit a less than premium golf ball here. It's a Top Flight XL. It's a distance ball, or what's advertised as a distance ball. And right away I can tell, just by the sound and the trajectory, that ball launched at about 35 degrees, which is a little bit too high, and it was only spinning 1,257 RPMs. So right away, when you get that hard-covered ball, like literally that ball is almost like a range ball, you're going to get higher launch and you're going to get lower spin rates. Okay, the best way to get that lower launch, like we said, is creating the most friction possible with the right equipment, but also hitting the ball lower on the club face. So let's go ahead and grab a different wedge option here. I'll grab my Cleveland. And even here, even if I hit my Cleveland and I use one of those same golf balls, this is a Cleveland with the Top Flight golf ball. Let's see what type of spin rate I get here. Looked a little better, it's a little more spinny, almost went in the hole. So the launch was still higher. The ball launched at 34.6 degrees and was spinning 2,200 RPMs. So that ball did make some difference there. We got almost 1,000 RPMs more spin just by having a better quality ball. Okay, so let's go to the ideal here. I've got a nice clean club face. I've got a nice Tour Premium golf ball. and I've got a wedge that's got a lot of spin technology built into the head, and also hopefully some good technique. Let's see if we can get a little bit more spin. Ooh, I can tell right away, you can see how much more flighted that wedge was. Let's see how we did there. Typically what you're looking off with wedge shots of this nature, you're looking for about a 30-degree window that you want the ball to be launching at. Even with a club that's got 58 degrees on it, I'm still going to be launching it at that 30-degree window. So that one right there, I actually launched it at 28 degrees, and the ball was spinning 4,937 RPMs. So that's almost 5,000 RPMs of spin for a ball that carried 32 yards. That's a lot of spin. The gold standard usually is if you can get about 100 RPMs of spin per yard. Okay, so on a 30-yard shot, that would give you 3,000 RPMs. But say a tour standard would be about 150 RPMs per yard. So on a 30-yard shot, you'd be getting 4,500 RPMs of spin. You know, tour players have the ability to get new wedges all the time. And obviously, a lot of you don't, but I would definitely invest in a premium wedge and a better quality ball. You're going to spend a little more money for that golf ball, but I guarantee you're going to chip, pitch, putt, get out of the sand so much better. It's going to give you more feel and a little more sense of awareness of the spin and trajectory. You'll really have a lot of fun hitting these different golf shots as you get better equipment, better golf ball. Okay, so a couple other tips to hit this shot, because obviously it's not all just your equipment. We talked about earlier how the biggest thing was to be able to create the most friction possible. The way to do that is by hitting the ball lower on the club face. So you want to have a technique that allows you to the best chance of hitting the ball low on the face. So a couple prerequisites for doing that is, number one, you want to have a little bit of shaft lean as you're coming into the golf ball. Number two is you want to be able to rotate and clear your body aggressively. Even on a small shot, there's a lot of acceleration there. The acceleration is like striking a match, and as you strike that match with the golf ball and groove interaction, you're going to generate a lot more friction and a lot more spin. Okay, so technique-wise, what I want you guys to work on out there, once you get the new equipment and the good ball, right, is you want to make sure you're hitting it low on the face. Okay, so what I like to do is I take some foot powder spray just to be able to figure out where I'm hitting it on the club face. So I'll spray a little bit of that on there, and then I'll hit shots focusing on some of those aspects of hands forward, acceleration with the body turn, and then I'll check and see where exactly I'm making contact. So I can see there right away the contact was low on the face. What helps me to hit contact low on the face is I want to always ensure my hands are leading forward and my body is clearing aggressively. What I see many of my students do is they come with a bad wedge, like we talked about earlier. They've got a not so good golf ball, right? Maybe they've taken practice swings and they've dirtied up their face, but also they've got techniques that are bigger and slower, and there's usually a little bit of scoop down at the bottom, okay? So what happens when you scoop it down at the bottom, you're going to end up hitting turf, and then you're going to hit the ball higher on the club face. I've got some pictures here to show you exactly what that would look like, but as soon as you get any turf between the face and the ball, no friction occurs. It's like trying to strike a wet or a dirty match. A drill to help you get that shaft lean and get your body clearing is just grip the wedge about halfway down. So about in the middle of the shaft here, set it up on the left side of your body and take some practice swings with your arms nice and relaxed, and you really feel yourself just clearing and turning the corner. I can feel my forearms rotate the club around my body, but I also feel my hips aggressively turning left and the path of my hands moving left. So in my mind's eye, I'm doing this quickly to create that friction, but it's also going to create a shallow strike. You almost want to take almost no divot with this length shot, okay, or very little divot. So you do a couple like this at first, and then you might go ahead and try and hit some with that same feel of the body turning the corner. So I've turned the corner there nicely, come to a nice compact finish, creating more spin and a lower trajectory.